Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Ant-Man channel. It is Friday, the 3rd of October, 2014, and I'm your host, Ant-Man. So, before I start this article, I'd just like to say, this is the month of Halloween. Everybody likes to get ready to dress up like demons and go around and knock on strangers' doors and ask for candy. Right? Pagan holiday. I'm not going to celebrate it, but remember what the Bible says. Anything you do, do it in faith. Anything that is not in faith is sin. So just remember that, because that's kind of key to what how you conduct yourself these days. Biblically, right? Biblically. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a good, sound biblical teaching here to apply to our lives, right? So I was just gonna say that take advantage of the holidays. I like to watch The Comfort Zone, and they always tell you to like pass out tracts. I think that's a great idea. You guys don't miss out on this opportunity. I think that you guys would be blessed, and just being a Christian, man. That sharing the gospel is one of the most blessed things that we can partake in, you guys. And we all should do that. And if you're even as scared as me to do it, man, just do it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not immune to how scary it is to share my faith. You know what I mean? I know what I sound like. I'm not ignorant. I know what I sound like when I say I believe in God and stuff like that. And I think that through careful research, it just becomes obvious that God exists. But you know how the world is. It suppresses the truth and unrighteousness because it loves darkness more than light. That's okay, because that's what we're here for. If we weren't here, then the world would be hopeless, because God sent us out here. You know what I mean? He said, go out and preach the word of God. So let's get into this article. It is from the Christian Post, and it is by Leonardo Blair. This was actually posted on like the 26th, but I had it saved because I just thought it was an interesting article, and my bad, trying to get to it. Like, I got to it pretty late this time, but it's alright. It's still pretty good. It's still relevant. Still something worth reading. So no worries. It is Georgia allegedly fires Christian public health expert because he believes homosexuality is a sin and evolution was created by Satan. You see what kind of world you're living in? Where you have to go along with what everybody else believes in now, or you are subject to some type of being singled out and picked on and bullied and stuff like that. You're being marginalized, Christians, in America, by far. We got the entire public education system, even the universities, are all corrupt and teaching you stuff that is meant to brainwash you and dumb you down. And I could go on about that, but it's, you know what I mean? It's true. And you see, when people hide behind a system, they will defend that system. So me saying that that's all corrupt and it's like dumbing you down, I know a lot of you will be like, no, because it's just. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just some people they have pride and they don't want to believe that something that they went through and believed and all that was fake and a lie. And I understand. That must be tough, but it's true, man. What'd you get out of going to school, man? What are you like? You know what I mean? I didn't get anything out of going to school. School is a drag. It's like child labor. You get forced to go, and you know what I mean. And you have to do what they tell you, or they discipline you and they embarrass you in front of everybody. And it's just kind of like a place where they train you to be a slave, in my opinion. And the whole university scam is a scam, because you go to college and you get these degrees that cost so much money, and then you get out and you're not promised a job, and you're in debt. And I got an education for free, and I didn't get indoctrinated with all of that either. I got a liberal arts education, which is it's a high-end education. It's a very in-depth, everything that you study is very in-depth, and it's a liberal arts education. The purpose of it, the reason why in our days it's been neglected and it's all about job training and stuff, is because that whole virtue and faith thing got thrown out the window, and liberal arts is really like how to train you to think about the things that you do historically, economically, all those things. Like, it's more of a morality thing, more of a knowing that you're a human being, that we're civil. We've come a long way to be the kind of country that we are, and that we're going in the opposite direction now, obviously, because we see a lot of racism these days. a lot of violence. The culture is super hyper violent now. It's all about gang banging and stupid nonsense. But look at the world you're living in, man. You cannot, you know what I mean? You're gonna be marginalized for being a Christian, and that's all I'm saying, because it's really obvious. And there's jokers out there that actually say stupid things like there is no persecution going on against Christians. Yeah, tell that to the guy who's being sued, like what, like $5,000-7,000 or something, because he didn't want to host a gay wedding or something at his property. Tell him that. You know what I mean? All right, let me get on with this. Eric Walsh, a Christian public health expert and lay preacher, is accusing Georgia's Department of Public Health of religious discrimination and retaliation after officials there rescinded a job offer because he believes homosexuality is a sin and evolution is a religion created by Satan. Let me just add this: the Prophet Muhammad, when he wrote, the Quran, I guess, when he was in a cave, by the way. All right, this actually goes back and is tied into a lot of different religions that have to do with people being in caves and having been given visions. He was not given this vision of the Islam religion, was not given to him by God. He even admitted that it might have been Satan that gave it to him. Now, Charles Darwin was a Christian, I guess, at one point, and then he started to go to college. Shocker. And he lost his faith. And then he went to the Galapagos Islands, and then the genius got the idea that we all have a common ancestor because there's different types of finches. I mean, that's that's funny to me, you guys. How do you get? Man, they got an imagination. I'll give them that. But that evolution thing was passed down to Charles Darwin, I think, supernaturally. I think it was given to him by the devil, man. I think that is a doctrine of devils. Because look, when you think about evolution, what is it covering up? It's covering up the creation and the flood. And if the devil can get you to be ignorant or to not believe in that the world was created by God and that also God judged it by water, and that he can also fool you that he's not going to judge it by fire either. You know what I mean? And that's the whole plan. We all read in the Bible that it says that where is he? Ever since our fathers fell asleep, we've been doing everything. So, you know what I mean? And where is this coming? And that's where it all ties into, is because we're being trained to believe that there's no God, and that we're being biblically illiterate nowadays, to the point where we don't even understand that. But the Bible prophesied so many things that ended up happening thousands or hundreds of years ago before it even happened. The Bible told you that this world was a sphere, and that the universe was expanding, and that, you know what I mean? But way before modern science discovered that. And people don't realize that. So anyways, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution reported on the case on Tuesday, and the Liberty Institute noted in a release that they, along with attorneys at Parks, Chazin, and Walbert, had filed a complaint with the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission on Walsh's behalf. According to the Liberty Institute, Walsh's faith first became an issue earlier this year while he worked as the public health director for the city of Pasadena, California. Walsh, an accomplished public health expert, was invited to be the commencement speaker for Pasadena City College's class of 2014. Some students, however, reportedly objected to his selection and highlighted videos of his sermons online and complained to the school about his religious views. The controversy forced Walsh to withdraw from the commencement ceremony, and he was placed on leave from his job. We truly do live in a time where, it's I don't even need to say it, is that we live in a time where we think good is evil and evil is good, because people hate us Christians, but our entire religion, if you will, is based on the fact that we try to get along with people, and that we try to bring them to a repentant, we try to make them we try to bring them into that relationship with God somehow. We try to point them into the right direction. And yeah, God has he has requirements. You have to be acceptable in his sight. And we have to point out the fact that God is perfectly moral in the light of his law. He is perfectly moral. And that he expects you to be perfect, to be where he's at, you know what I mean, and to have a relationship with him. So that's why the whole cross thing came in. But we have sympathy for people who cut 5-year-olds in half. We have misplaced compassion. We're sympathizing with people who wear turbans and fly airplanes. And that probably wasn't even them. That was probably Saudi Arabia. I don't know, the whole 9/11 thing. I'm not a big birther or anything, but we have this like compassion toward a religion that's all about hate and stoning people. But we hate the type of people who bring us to the realization that we are a fallen creature. We are a fallen thing and that we need God. Because without God, we cannot be good and we cannot do anything good on our own. And it's an oxymoron because people want to ultimately think of themselves as good. And when you want to get ahead in this world, I think it's stupid to think that, you're going to do it by being a good person. This isn't a world for good people. This is a world for people who want to get ahead by means of cheating and stuff like that. So it's really like, if you're going to be evil and you're going to be an atheist, man, it's really not a good idea to think you're going to be a good person or anything, because it's not going to benefit you anything. People don't admire that these days, and it's not really beneficial in the workplace. You got to be a jerk. You got to be short-tempered. You got to be someone who takes what he doesn't sow. Anyways, let's see. According to the Pasadena Star News, Walsh resigned in late May following controversial comments he made in the Seventh-day Adventist sermons posted online. The sermons condemned homosexuals, Muslims, Catholics, popular culture, Darwin's theory of evolution, and other groups and ideas. He seems to be right on the ball. And I'm really tired of this culture of being so sensitive and it's just it's really wimpy. You know what I mean? Like you get your panties in a bunch because somebody says homosexuality is a sin and it's an abomination in the sight of God. But you think you have a civil right. You think you're Rosa Parks or something and that you can get up and tell us not to say that. Well, that's not a civil right of yours to be able to tell me to shut up. And I'll tell you what, man, even if you guys start burning us and start crucifying us, we're not going to shut up. And every time we get persecuted, man, the faith grows. The church grows every time. And it comes out on top. Look at for all you illiterate people out there that never read a history book, go look at what happens to Christians when they get persecuted. Go look at what the church has been through in all of the history of the church since Jesus was here. It's really amazing. It's nothing short of a miracle that we're still here and that we have a faith that came from the Middle East. It's really like, what are the chances of that, you guys? You guys need to realize the Bible's a supernatural book. It pictures Jesus all over the Old Testament, the part nobody reads. But it's all about him, the entire book. Let's see. In a recent sermon, however, Walsh called the episode a witch hunt. When they went online to find things to damage my reputation or to cause the school to maybe not choose me, what they found wasn't any scandal. There was no embezzlement there. It was nothing like that. It was just a lot of sermons, he said. They just took little snippets, and of course, by taking them out of context and framing a new context, they really were able to frame me as a very terrible person. I was called in the papers a bigot. I was called a homophobe. I was called all kinds of names that weren't true, man. I really hate that stupid word, homophobe. Nobody's scared of you homosexuals. Nobody's scared of you. Nobody's closet gay just because we're against you. That's such a stupid, erroneous thing to say, man. It's just stupid. I mean, you sinners will say anything just to justify your actions, man. For real. I was talking to some girl on this UFC comment, and she comes out to call me I forgot what she called me, but she's going off about how she can flirt and she has a boyfriend, and if her boyfriend gets mad about her flirting, then he's just a little wimp or something. And I'm like, no, you just want to do whatever you want. You're licentious and sensual, just like most people these days. And people are only going to respond to you in a nasty way. They try to the atheist especially feels this way, that if he argues and he's angry and he's bitter and hateful in his words, that he somehow is justified in his anger for something. And it's all crocodile tears. It's always, there's kids dying, and you don't care about them. If you cared about them, you'd probably do something instead of trying to win a debate by bringing them up to... I mean, and one of the hardest questions, that anyone can answer, why is there suffering in the world? That's a good question, but, it's in the Bible. The Bible explains that. And you need to have peace with that, man. Okay? You need to have peace with that. It's It's nobody's fault, man. I mean, we all just came here, and this is how it is. And it's stupid to think that you guys are so hateful against Christians when we're the ones going over there to feed them and go over there to like clothe them. You guys don't even realize that, do you? That we open up soup kitchens and that we clothe people, and that you guys are just like, it's because of Christians. The world is so hateful. It's like, you guys are jokes, man. You guys just want to live in the most disgusting, filthy, sinning lives that you can and run away from accountability. And when I come around, I'm conviction, because I give you that conviction, right? So you don't like me, because if I come around, you know that I am a man of integrity and that I follow the Lord. And you don't want people like that around you. I've heard people say that, like, I hate people that are too serious. Well, yeah, the gospel's serious business, and I take it seriously. And my life is not my own; it is the Lord's. He bought it with His blood, and I have to take that seriously. So, oh well, simpletons. You know, you guys could live your simple life all you want, but I enjoy reading the Bible. I enjoy the love of God and all that, and loving to know more about Him. But just because you feel like you're good all on your own, I mean, that's just... The world's a messed up place, dude, because of sin. And that just shows it. Because when you don't want to repent, you turn your hatred on the people that are trying to make a better world. Straight up. That's what it is. I'm a devout member of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Walsh noted in his statement of support filed with his official charge of discrimination with the EEOC, and as part of my sincerely held religious beliefs, I believe in expressing my faith. My faith is important to me. I regularly speak about my faith at churches and religious conferences. According to the Liberty Institute, Walsh applied for the district health director position with the Georgia Department of Public Health while he was on leave in Pasadena and was forthcoming about his religious views and the controversy there. During my interview with the state of Georgia, I volunteered information about the situation generated by students complaining about my religious views so that the state would be aware, said Walsh. In addition, my previous employer spoke directly to senior officials with the Georgia Department of Public Health to explain what had happened with Pasadena City College. That's how brainwashed our kids are these days. They're complaining about the teacher that believes in God, but they don't complain about the teacher that's sleeping around with everybody. I'm positive about that. According to the Liberty Institute, Walsh was hired for the position of District Health Director, State of Georgia Department of Public Health, contingent on a routine background check. On May 16th, the day before he was supposed to start his first day on the job, the State of Georgia Department of Public Health terminated Walsh in an email because of his religious beliefs. Said the Liberty Institute, officials were caught on voicemail laughing about the cold manner in which they would fire Walsh, the Institute had noted. Wow. That's how corrupt your world is, dude, that you're a hated person because you're a Christian. It's the world you're living in, dude. When two state of Georgia officials called Walsh to tell him of his termination, they were unable to reach him and had to leave a voicemail. At the end of the call, they must have pressed the wrong button and didn't hang up, inadvertently recording themselves laughing about terminating Walsh's position and the deliberate lack of human warmth with which they planned to do so, noted the release from the Liberty Institute. Their words include cold and you're out, followed by laughter. It continued. No one could be fired for simply expressing his religious beliefs, said Andrew Kaufman, partner in the law firm of Parks, Chesson and Walber and a Liberty Institute volunteer attorney. In America, it is against the law to fire an employee for expressing his religious beliefs, especially when that expression takes place at church. This kind of religious intolerance by an employer had no place in today's workforce. It doesn't have any place. This is America. When we do business here, we don't look at anybody's skin color. We don't look at what you believe in. We just trade. That's the beauty of the free market system. If you guys ever want to learn about that, is that we can all just prosper and get rich if we just, do business with each other. But to think that we are that stuck up in our days and that arrogant that we need to do business with people that only we like, and that we think that we're such a blessing that we can withhold blessings from people that we don't like or that don't kiss our butt enough. That's disgusting that there's people out there like that. Before I end this video, I had an event happen to me once where I applied for a job at T-Mobile and they told me I got the job. And then they never called me back. And I realized that at that time I had a Facebook and I was posting a lot of Christian stuff on Facebook. And I have an eerie suspicion that they went on the internet to look at what kind of person I am, and that they changed their mind from hiring me because I was a Christian. And I'm not just a lukewarm Christian, you guys. I am like this in my regular life. I'm not just like all like a zealous and on fire when I'm in front of a camera or at church behind my computer. No, man, I'm like this all the time. I share my faith with people whenever I get a chance. And if that rubs you the wrong way, oh well, dude, I don't care. I'm going to be who I am whether you like it or not. And it's hilarious that I think that I mean, even Target. I applied at Target once and they asked me what I thought about the government. They're like, "Do you think the government is corrupt?" I'm like, "What does that matter? I'm trying to get a job." And I know that I didn't get the job because I answered honestly. I answered honestly in all the questions. And you guys are being marginalized. All you Christians out there, the system is being worked against you for you not to make money, to become poor, and to be discriminated against so that other people don't like you and don't do business with you, and so that they can use the majority tyranny, useless yuppies like the gay, the homosexual community to come against you, and the atheist community to come against you. And we should become bolder and stronger to stand up for our faith and to proclaim the victory that Christ has already, won. So, you guys stand strong. Don't be discouraged by this. We will win in the end. We already know. So, God bless you and have a good day.